I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a word, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
In my mind.
You can kill all the black folks you want to, baby, but you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lousy wars, baby, and you give us nothing. Now the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now you kill you want to, but we kill too.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I just wanted to come on here because I just saw something that really disturbed me. And good afternoon, anybody that's going to check out this live, check out this playback. It really disturbed me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a stream about it. So I'm only going to be in here for a quick minute. The intro is just going to be a little bit shorter than what I'm going to be in here. But I have to talk about this situation going on in Florida. If you're not up on Florida and what's going on in Florida, I'm going to put you up on something. If you kind of know what's going on in Florida, I mean, you know, Ron the Devil, he's been doing his thing. I get it. We totally get it. You hate. I get it, bro. But now it's starting to get to a level where it's not only affecting the citizens, it's affecting people that are coming there on vacation. And I've been to Florida a number of times. Here, let me go in and just come up, because I don't know how I'm going to be on the screen. But I've been to Florida a number of times, and I literally have never, ever had a problem. I personally have never, ever had a problem. But I know people that have been to Florida and had issues, or lived in Florida and had issues, but I personally have never had a problem. So I don't have a dog in this fight, other than the fact that Black Americans are being jacked up in Florida in all kind of ways. Shout out to Free, putting things in the chat for me so I can get them up on the screen. No doubt. The villager at work today, Free lives in Florida. I'm gonna put her business in the street. So she's one of the people that I look out for when I think about things that are happening in Florida, whether it be a storm, tornado, crazed maniac. I'm always wondering where they at and how close they might be to Free. Because if you got people in these places where detrimental things happen, you have to look out for them, even if you can't physically be there. If you can't physically be there, you got to mentally and spiritually be there for your people. And they're in Florida, so I've got to spiritually and mentally be there for them. Sister Fate, how you doing today? I had to come in here and talk about Florida, Sister Fate. I ain't going to be in here long. This ain't going to be a marathon like you be riding with me on them 1-2 hour marathons. Today is going to be short. So I'm my back's against the wall for timing, just because I got something to do. I always got something to do around this time in the afternoon. So I wanted to put this stream up because it affected me and it was just a really short news story from a Florida news station talking to the NAACP, and then they had a little excerpt of Ron the Devil. Ron the Devil got to me more than anything, because I already kind of knew the other stuff that was going on, but something that he said bothered me, and it's probably going to surprise y'all what it was, because most people don't know where I'm going until I get there, and then I bring it back. So I'm going to boomerang this, let you know Ron the Devil said something today, but until you hear what he said, and I articulate what it means, what he said, then you'll get it. But until then, you might not get it. You might not get it. Oh, I don't think Free's offended at all by that. I mean, hell, we trying to get Free back to the mitten. She got some business up here she got to take care of. We trying to get Free back to the mitten. Free already knows. Oh yeah. He a mess too. That's the word for the summer. A mess. He's a mess. Y'all governor is a mess too in Virginia. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't getting off the hook. Virginia ain't getting off the hook. Y'all governor is a mess. What's his name? What's y'all governor name in Virginia? Yeah, he's a mess. Yeah. He bad as this person right here.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Yeah. That's your girl. Ski wee. He probably will be the VP to DeSantis. Dang. 2 little devils up in there if they win the bid. Oh, John Henry knew, and John Henry in the mitten. He kind of worldly, though. He wanted them uppity Negroes, too, that read a book or two. He keeps up on the current events and the current white supremacy. So, yeah, Glenn Youngkin. All right. Well, Sister Fate, I've heard he got some issues, but I really want to go look up some things on him so I can talk more about him, because y'all probably gonna have some mess too. Because this right here, it disturbed me. But I'm gonna get to it. I ain't gonna make y'all wait too long. I do need to do one quick thing though. And yeah, because I'm defending us. I'm defending us in this thing with Florida. So if I'm defending us, I gotta kill us too. Okay, y'all know how I am. If I'm defending us, I gotta kill us too. Okay,
y'all want to see a dead body?
So we're gonna see a dead body. Before I defend this, I'm gonna kill us. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this up. Just make somebody mad. Because I'm gonna make a couple people mad. What I'm about to say. So, as we know, the Olympian, the greatest gymnast ever, Simone Biles, so I believe her name is Simone Biles Owens now. And I'm just gonna call her Simone Owens. I'm gonna take the Biles out. I know the Biles is her name that she got in athletics, but I'm gonna look at her more as a wife now. She's a wife now. She's about being a wife. She may still compete, but she's a wife first. Okay. She done took some senseless shade based on what she wore, based on what her hair looked like, based on the cost of their wedding, whatever. Ain't nobody talked about the $350,000 ring that she got on her finger. Ain't nobody said nothing about the $350,000 ring she has on her finger. But they want to talk about the $120 wedding gown and the $35 shoes. And her hair wasn't, it wasn't silk pressed, or she didn't have a lace front. She didn't get her edges right. They wanted to do that dumb shit. And when I say they, hyenas. Unfortunately, melanated hyenas. Why us? Why we always got to come at our own like this? This is supposed to be the most spectacular day in her life. I know all them Olympic medals she won were probably the most spectacular days until he proposed and until her wedding day. But that's what she is now. But these hyenas gonna jump on social media and start talking about what she's wearing on her body, on her feet, what her hair looks like. Really? That's the most important thing out of all this. Hell, I done seen more hyenas, rest in peace, Jerry Springer, than I've seen them congratulate Simone Biles Owens. Everybody was R.I.P. and Jerry. R.I.P. Jerry. Ain't nobody up here saying Simone. You raggedy motherfuckers. How you gonna talk about this woman on her grandest day? How you gonna talk about her? I bet you a lot of these hyenas that's talking about her never even saw her compete. They know who she is, and she's in social media, so that's why they talking about her. But they probably never even saw her on a balance beam one bit. Her money in her bank account, y'all money in them folks' hands. Yeah. That's what it's really about. They think because she got it, she's supposed to spend it. No, if you got it, you're supposed to save it, dummy. Or you're supposed to make it move so it makes you more, which she's doing. But you get a hyena with an iPhone 14 and they want to fucking talk. Will never even make it down the aisle. They'll never make it down the aisle. And if they do get married, they ain't getting married. They ain't having no $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 wedding. They going down to the lodge hall where their great-great-granddaddy was an elk. That's where they going to have their wedding at. They going to have a wedding and a wedding reception there all at the time. Cletus Barbecue going to cater the event. They're going to get Reverend Sugarfoot Jr. because Reverend Sugarfoot was the pastor for their granddaddy. But Reverend Sugarfoot Jr., he will officiate the ceremonies. Don't even get me started on these heifers. Brother Trey Lincoln in the house. What's good with your brother? Over the road. Unloading, loading, unloading, loading. Game don't stop. Nor are they married or have a man. Oh, absolutely not. All they got is sperm donors. That's all they got is sperm donors. That's all they got. Sperm dispensaries. They get the product in and then they push the product out. I can use dispensary in a whole different realm. I ain't got to use it just with cannabis. Be lucky if they get the justice of the peace. Justice of the peace costs you $49. They ain't got $49. They gonna get Reverend Sugarfoot Jr. to do it. You know what I seen in the early 2000s? This was some stuff that really, we ain't gonna stay on Simone long because I'm just gonna get to this message real quick. Something that I seen in the early 2000s where people were starting to get married right after church services. Have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen? Well, it was when I seen it, it was years back. So I might be out of style now. You know, shit they do in church go out of style. So what I seen was the church service would go through the whole thing, and then 2-3 couples would get married after the service. Have y'all ever seen that? Because I'm gonna tell the church that did it, because I was there. I was there for service and ended up being in weddings. I mean, I went to church that day and ended up at 3 weddings one Sunday. Really? That's what y'all doing out here? Catching the Holy Ghost, then catching a husband, catching a wife right after the service. And sometimes the parishioners would stay so they'd have some people in the audience. Most time they all trying to get up out of there, trying to get to Golden Corral and Ram's Horn and Fire Mountain and Old Country Buffet. And, you know, they're trying to get to the restaurants. Locally, they might have been trying to get to Cuppies. I don't know. I don't know. You know? All I'm saying is, you can be an officiant of a Church of Universal Life online. Oh, I officiated weddings before. I sure did. I officiated a wedding in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I sure did. Now he trolls me online because him and his wife didn't work out. Because he liked men's. He liked men's. And, you know, I don't know why he coming at me now, because me and him never had nothing. Me and him never had nothing but an alleged friendship. But we really weren't friends. I was just the only person that just didn't treat him like shit, I guess. I don't know. But it was what it was when it was. But now it ain't no more. So we're going to stop talking about that shit now. Anyways. Yeah, I officiated a wedding before, for sure. Yeah, sure did. Had the white linen on, had the linen outfit on, you know. I wasn't wearing one of them 5-button silver suits and shit. I wasn't doing all that. And I wasn't putting no big robe on. Nah, we're gonna go straight casual from the wedding chapel to the jazz fest. I could just do it all. Universal outfits. Okay. So this is what I really got on here for today. I got on here for this shit because this is crazy. And I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to share the screen, blow it up. Man, listen to this shit. Listen to this shit.
The NAACP of Florida asking the national organization to issue a travel advisory warning Black people not to come to our state. Local 10's Laren Livingston is live with reaction to this. It's pretty controversial, Laren.
Yes, you may be familiar with the term sundown town. It refers to places where Black folks were historically advised not to be once the sun went down, as it were. Well, the NAACP of Florida says the Sunshine State as a whole may be one of those places.
Florida is not safe for Black people.
Daniela Pierre is the president of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP.
We are cautioning people when they come here, you're going to experience what we are experiencing.
Pierre says she was in Orlando just a few days ago, along with other NAACP Florida State Conference members, unanimously voting to ask the national board to issue a travel advisory warning Black people to avoid visiting or moving to the state.
Anytime there are policies that are going to be put in place that is going to impact and disrupt the quality of life of Black people and all people of color, we take that very seriously.
Pierre and the Florida Conference point to the governor's anti-woke rhetoric. They point to the redrawing of the state's congressional maps, which has been legally challenged on the basis of race. They point to the modification of proposed AP African American history classes and the push to do away with diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
All of those point to reasons that Florida is not safe for Black people.
What a joke. What a joke. Yeah, we'll see how effective that is.
Last week, the governor dismissed the idea as a stunt.
And fine, if you want to waste your time on a stunt, that's fine. Look, I get, but I'm not wasting my time on your stunts, okay?
This is not a stunt or a joke for the NAACP.
And the NAACP, it's an organization that's issued a similar advisory for the state of Missouri back in 2017. And the organization says this travel advisory recommendation will be formally submitted via resolution and could be reviewed and approved as early as May. We'll keep you posted. In the newsroom, Darren Livingston, Local 10 News.
So I'm going to go back in just a second, but you listen to that and you heard the little excerpt with Ron DeSantis. So I'm going to go right back into that because I'm going to get off of here. I'll be off here within 10 minutes. NAACP, I know they got some good chapters out there. I know they got some people that are doing some things out there in the NAACP. Okay. Shout out to y'all. But for the most part, the NAACP does not do anything for Native Black Americans, American freedmen, people that belong here originally. Because I'm not saying you don't belong here now. You got your paperwork right, you can stay, but you're not an original. I'm not saying aboriginal, I said original. Your people's bones aren't buried here after they were dragged here and put into slavery. So if you're not an American Black, you could be a Black American just by citizenship. But if you're not an American Black, you're American first. Not where did you come from first and then that. Not an Asian American, not a Latino American, not a Palestinian American. No. American first. We're American now. That's why we're an American freedman. Not a freedman American, American freedman, because we're Americans first. So you try to start something. It's Africana American, then people of color. Yeah. NAACP is spineless. I mean, the fact that they're for people of color and not colored people, they're spineless. But let me go back into this so you can hear what he said again. I got to get to it real quick. Listen to what DeSantis says.
Black people.
What a joke. What a joke. Yeah, we'll see how effective that is.
You hear that?
We'll see how effective that is.
Last week.
That's what
we'll see how effective that is.
You hear that?
Last week.
What a joke. Yeah, we'll see how effective that is.
So you heard he says it's a stunt. It's a stunt. It's a stunt. It's a stunt. Oh, we got a Nashidian in here. We got a Nashidian in here. You see what he said? You see the lack of respect that he has for Black Americans? Because he knows we're going to come to Florida. We're going to come to vacation. We going to Disney World. We going to Busch Gardens. We going to all the stuff in Florida. We coming to have fun. We coming to spend money. We coming to leave broke. We coming to leave broke. And he has full confidence that won't no black people adhere to this travel ban. He knows black people love to spend money with people that don't like them. And they trying to put up a travel ban in Florida. You trying to stop us from going down there to have fun? All them cruise ports is down there. We got to get on them Carnival cruises. I got to get on that Carnival cruise ship. Y'all gonna go down there, get disrespected, get on a ship, have a whole bunch of fun, then come back, get disrespected, and then come home broke. And your memories is gonna be about being disrespected. You're gonna talk about that more than you're gonna talk about the 3-day cruise you went on. The all-you-can-eat shrimp night, you know? You're going to forget about all them good memories. You're going to forget, and you're going to remember being disrespected in Florida. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. And he has full confidence that you cannot control your pockets or your triptychs. I'm old school. I said triptych. You can't control your triptychs and divert yourself from going to Florida and going somewhere else. He said, check this out.
We'll see how effective that is.
Yeah.
What a joke. Yeah, we'll see how effective that is.
And what he wanted to say, yeah. We'll see how effective that is. You know niggas love Busch Gardens. You know niggas love SeaWorld. You know niggas love Orlando. That's what he meant. That's what he really wanted to say. That's what he really wanted to say. But he can't say that because he's trying to run for president. He's trying to run for president. So he couldn't say that. So I get it. I totally get it. But I saw something that most people didn't see when they watched this here. When they watched this here, this right here, let's see how many views this thing got. This thing got, about a month ago, it got 2,200 views, which is horrible, which lets you know why everybody's coming to the internet. This is a news station, and they got 652,000 subscribers and only had 2,200 views last month. That's horrible. Horrible. They don't even have 10% of the people that subscribe to their channel watching them. And that would be 65,000. They don't have 10%. They don't even have 1%, which would be 6,500. That's horrible. That's why everybody's coming to the internet. That's why they put their news from the TV on the internet. If they only have 2,200 views on the internet, how many views do you think they have locally? Ain't nobody checking out no damn news station on the TV no more. And that's all you do. You can get your news right on the internet. It's the same stuff that's on TV. Some of them simulcast right on the internet. So what's going on in Florida? Just a whole bunch of white supremacy, bro. Whole bunch of white supremacy. You be safe when you go through there. I know you gotta load and unload over there. So you be safe when you got to go through there. Anybody be safe. If you live down there, you be safe. If you visiting down there, if you be safe. If you work down there, you be safe. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody having to deal with this.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
No, I don't want nobody having to deal with that. Absolutely not. But the NAACP puts this thing out. They in all these newscasts too. They got a jack leg from every NAACP, because every time I hear people of color, I tune out. So I negate anything that you say. Once you say people of color, and I tell you I don't really identify as that, but I get it, then you say, okay, we can carry on. But if I say I don't identify as people of color and you want to question why I don't identify as people of color, then I don't talk to you no more. We're done. We done. We had all the fun in the sun. Now we done. Don't call me a people of color. Don't call me a man of color. I'm not that. I'm an American freedman. I'll let you call me a Black American. I'll let you do that just to be concise. But don't even call me an African American. Don't even call me that. That son got so twisted. That son got so twisted that I can't even be called an African American no more without getting upset, because they call this person African American.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No.
They call her an African American, and she's Brahmin, Indian, and Jamaican. She's neither. neither from here nor from there. But she gets get called an African American. Really, what she's called a woman of color. She likes woman of color better. She don't want to be called an African American, even though she went through a HBCU that was made for African Americans. I bet you she identified as an African American when she went there in '86. I bet you when Kamala Harris went to Howard, she called herself black. She called herself an African American. I'd be willing to bet anything on it. We ain't gonna find nobody she went to school with because she didn't hire nobody, ain't nobody in the public eye, and ain't nobody came out against her. But I know a lot of people that are not for her anymore, and they on the ski-wee tip. They on the ski-wee tip. And they were like, no, we can't rock with her no more. She dissed us. What you say there, Brother Trey? Florida has always been a racist state. I think they're trying to control the younger. Absolutely. They're trying to make the Sunshine State a sundown state, and they're trying to use the young people to do it. That's why they don't want nothing in the textbooks. That's why they don't want nothing taught in the schools. They don't want the young people learning the truth. So now they got to skew all that around. They changing the books. They done changed the whole thing with Rosa Parks to where it's not about color and it's not about a white man they wanted to see. It just says she was asked to get up. That's what it say in the history book. They got a history book that says she was just asked to get up. Took out the color, took out the white man, took out the fact that black people wasn't supposed to be sitting there. Yeah. They got the books being printed now. She was just asked to get up. Why you ask you to get up? You know, in a typical chivalrous society, why would you ask a woman to get up for a man? Oh, it was a white man? Oh, black people couldn't sit there? They don't want none of that out. They don't want none of it out in Florida. Hell, they don't want none of it out nowhere. But it just got out and they can't control it. It is what it is. She was listening to Snoop Dogg in '86, smoking weed and bumping Tupac. Yeah, of course she was black. Of course she was an African American, but now she's a woman of color. Anyways, this ain't about Mamala right now. This is about the devil. And the devil said, and I can't even hate, dog, because I think it's true. I don't think we'll be able to restrain ourselves from going to Florida. I think we're going to still go to Florida in droves. I think we're going to still spend mad money down there. I think we'll still go down there and get brutalized. I think we'll still go down there and get disrespected because the people are going to reflect a lot from the leadership. This is why I say that the local politics are always much bigger than the national politics. He controls state of Florida, and I know everybody in the state of Florida don't think like that, but when leadership is hate-driven, your communities are going to be hate-driven. It is what it is. That's just the way America was built. That's the way America was built. It was built on hate, so a whole lot of haters was out there. And then more and more people who had a little less hate made it more of a liberal society, but that's it. That's it. America is what America is. Yeah. They have grandkids. Some of them grandkids going to HBCUs or just going to school with a whole bunch of black people. And they don't want them knowing some things that's in these books. So they changing them books around. Who you think they wrote the original textbooks? Black people didn't write the original textbooks. They ain't like they trying to rewrite what we wrote. They trying to rewrite what they wrote. Because they like, man, we can't have this. We can't talk about how great this country is and then show people how we actually conquered it with brutality and rape and murder and pillaging. We got to smooth this shit over. We got to make this look like it's always been like this. We got to figure out a way to show how them niggas came over here involuntarily and jumped on the plantations and built this country. We got to show that in a civil way. The fuck? That's what this is about. They trying to figure out how to show how America was conquered in a civil fashion. Don't talk about that we dragged them over here on ships as cargo and beat them and raped them and killed them. We just say that we maneuvered a few of them to come over here. We coaxed a few of them to come over here. We convinced a few of them to come over here. That's the way we got to position this. Whatever. No, they did pay for us. They paid the Africans that was over there. They never sent for us again. That's why they're going back to Africa. I'm not going back to Africa. If I go to Africa, I'm going to be going to Africa. I'm not going to be going back to Africa. You know, they used to say that, go back to Africa. What are you talking about, go back to Africa? I didn't ask to come here. Y'all brought me here. Why don't you send me back? Motherfucker. When I came up with that line, people never said that to me again. I got told that a couple times when I was little. Go back to Africa. Okay. And once I came up with the line, well, you know what? I don't know where I'm from over there. But maybe your ancestors do. So can you have them send me back? They'd shut the fuck up. Yeah. And then next thing you know, when they want to talk to me,
I know that ain't who I think it is.
yeah, I'm walking right down the middle of the street. I'm walking right down the middle of the street. Tell me to go back to Africa now. I don't think so. But no, I never had too many problems like that growing up, but I heard it a couple times. Go back to Africa. Go back to Africa. Like, really? My great-grandmother took care of your great-grandmother. So it is what it is. But yeah, I got to get out of here. Ron the Devil might be onto something. Forget all the other stuff. He might have just said something so true about us that we don't have the discipline to, when disrespect is put right in our face, because Florida is one of 50 states. There's 49 other states that we can go to. Well, maybe like 45. There's 5 or so I wouldn't recommend. So like 45 states that we could go to. Take your family to. It's not Florida. I get it. But take your family to somewhere you've never been. Bypass Florida. Everybody knows Florida. Everybody goes to Florida. But I know we'll not be disciplined enough to not go to a place where we're going to be insulted, disrespected, or worse. And Ron the Devil said it. He said it out loud. That's a new thing right now. I'm going to be on the first of this. He said it out loud. Everybody says that. They said this thing out loud. Yeah, Ron DeSantis said it out loud. I'll always call him the devil, but when I'm being serious, I'm going to call you by your government name. Ron DeSantis said it out loud. Just letting you know. One more before we get out of here. What we got there?
We'll see how effective that is.
We'll see how effective that is. Put your band together. We'll see how effective that is. We're getting 100,000 Negroes in a month. Y'all put your band in, we get 99. Oh, was that a success? Come on, man. That's what he's already thinking. Like, most black people are going to travel ban. I'm going to Florida, man. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to South Beach. Y'all be talking about going to South Beach, man. You'll never see no pictures of y'all going to South Beach. Every now and then I'll catch somebody that goes down there and does their thing. But for the most part, when y'all go to Florida, y'all going to Florida is different than them Florida ballers. Real Florida ballers are different. Yeah, totally different. And they'll probably get a rented Euro, exotic. No, you guys are in a Camry. You rolling on a strip in a Camry. You're supposed to be in a Lamborghini, Ferrari, rent it. Everybody knows you don't own it, but you rent those cars down there. Bentley, y'all don't be renting that stuff down there. Y'all just be pulling up, in a really, really nice Chevy Impala. Not even an SS, like just a LT, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I think like I think. Because I believe Ron may be on to something there. He said, we'll see how good that works out for you. Ain't nobody doing it. Ain't nobody doing it. Do they talk about how they raped our black women in the textbooks? Oh, come on, man. Those were relationships. You see how they smoothed over Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson? Was that her name? Sally Hemings, whatever her name? Said they had a relationship. Man, he was raping that girl. Well, no damn relationship. That was rape for many a years. Come on, man. Y'all got to, come on, man. But yeah, on the next stream, we're going to jump into a couple new things. Like they had Belle Isle. Yep. See, you're homesick. You wouldn't have said Belle Isle. You're homesick. We're going to talk a little bit about this most recent festival that they had here in the county. I wouldn't call it a festival, but they call it a festival. You know, it was a spring summit. It's kind of like, you know, it's a festival. It was a festival of politicals, local politicals, and criminals and law enforcement. They had a summit. They had a spring summit to talk about all the crime in 48197 and 48198. Because they're not talking about any other parts of the county. And then they brought the author, I believe, of Bleeding Out in there. Yeah, I had a couple people in there. Thanks, Coco. I'm on my way out. Sally Hennings, that's her name. Totally raped. She was raped. She didn't have a relationship with that man. She was raped. But yeah, I just got to talk about the one that happened yesterday, and then we're going to go back and look at the one that happened on April 1st. Maybe they're going to have a CVI intervention meeting every first of the month from this point on, at least until Jerry's out of office, because that's what these are. These are campaign trips for Derek Jackson, who's running for sheriff. And we'll be talking more about him and his exploits as well. At 14, oh, yeah. So was that consensual back then? You know, was that consensual? They said that was consensual back then? Come on, man. 14. Yeah. Nobody can give consent at 14, not to what I know of the laws to be. And I've never been on that predatory side, but maybe some of the people that were at this CVI intervention spring summit have been. I think that those things are usually loaded with people because there's felons there and there's misdemeanors. What do you call a guy that commits a misdemeanor? Is he a misdemeanorer? I don't know. Anyways. So, yeah, I'm going to get up out of here because that's all I came in here for today, was to really drop this on Florida. But, you know, we had to clean up some things with Simone Owens. And, you know, it is what it is now at this point. We'll talk about that on the next stream. But where I'm at, man, these potholes, they on fleek now. These potholes on fleek. And it's a good thing that we got some durable vehicles around here, because these potholes are on fleek. So if you in Ann Arbor, you in Ypsilanti, you already know. If you're going to ride in them same routes, memorize where your potholes are. I'm thinking about putting together a pothole survival skills challenge and emulate certain streets and have you drive down the street and then tell me what street you think it is. We could have like some Olympics or something like that. And we'll get the car dealers to sponsor it and the tire companies and, you know, get some endorsement money from them because they getting all the love from the repairs and the tire repairs. Well, you know, we'll get a rim company come in because they get the bent rims and all that stuff. We'll get it popping. We'll get it popping for sure. So I just don't know what people in Florida gonna do, because Ron DeSantis, he done put it in the digital sphere. He said, yeah, we'll see how good that works out for you. And that means that he's saying y'all ain't gonna do shit.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a bird, you're a